Hello, and welcome to another update video on Doge. I'm here currently on the daily time frame for Doge, and yeah, you can see that here on the Binance chart, the price sold off strongly on the 10th of October. Yeah, we had a very sharp decline, a crash down to round about 9.7, let's call it 10 cents. The price broke below the April low, which wasn't great, but I tell you what, on the Coinbase chart, for example, the price actually never broke the April low. That makes it obviously very difficult. But honestly, from a structural point of view, the only difference is that on the Coinbase chart, I would have to give the chart a little bit less room when we draw a Fibonacci support area. But I use Binance because I used the Binance chart before, and so in the end it's possible, because this entire move up is or was classed a diagonal pattern before, right? It's just that we considered the wave 4 complete here, which is still the case on the Coinbase chart. On the Binance chart, I can't do that. I can consider the wave 4 done here. Had we broken below this low at around 8 cents, that would be much less likely, but it's still technically possible. So I can still view this as a diagonal structure to the upside that's unfolding, which started here in June 2022. And obviously it's a 5-wave move up. That's what a diagonal pattern is. 3 waves up in wave 1, which topped in October 2022. Then we had a wave 2 pullback, which bottomed in June 23. And then here an ABC structure to the upside in a 3rd wave. This here would be an ABC structure in a 4th wave, and then this would be an ABC structure in a 5th wave. So 5 waves to the upside. 5 waves to the upside in an ending diagonal pattern. If we remove all that, so we have a 5-wave move up here in a diagonal, and we obviously have to now hold a support area to get this 5th wave going. Now, it's important to understand that, for example, on the Coinbase chart, the 4th wave would be here, April low, and this would be an ABC. So on the Binance chart, I would have to say this would be ABC. It's a slightly different structure. We might, only find out later which one the real wave count is. But I think it's important at this point that we just understand, what the relevant support level is. And there is still a possibility for higher prices. Yeah. In my opinion, the charts haven't shown enough yet to tell us if the market really wants to break out. The first indication for an upside breakout would be a break above this green line at around 22 cents. This is the first indication, because that's also where that previous swing low is located from September. Yeah. 22 cents, and it is the swing high that formed around I think it was the 13th or 14th of October. If we can break above this level, that's the first step to a real recovery. And above that level, then we have to pay close attention to the next resistance, which is the green line above, and this level is located at around 30.5 cents. This is the next resistance level above. Now, I've sketched 5 waves up here. I have to say an A wave, like this one would be, can be a 3-wave move. It doesn't have to be a 5-wave pattern. So again, I'm not necessarily convinced that we will see a 5-wave move. We don't have to see a 5-wave move. I'm less focused on the microstructures here. I'm more focused on the resistance levels and the support levels, because whether I call this move up an ABC structure or a 5-wave move or whatever, it's important that we're holding in any pullback now 11.5 cents, and that we're breaking above the first resistance at 22 cents, and then also take out the next resistance at 30.5 cents. These are the next key resistance levels. Now I would say let's also take a look at the shorter time frame chart here on the Dogecoin chart, lower time frames. And yeah, here you can see quite a bit of a mess. But you see the support area here we just talked about. There is scope for a dip into this support area, of course, because we could still be in this pullback. It's just important that we don't break below 11.5 cents. But I shared with you already in the last few days a micro support area here between 18 cents and 18.6. So the market reacted to it. And I said, I see more 5-wave movements to the upside than to the downside. So this actually looks like, the market might be preparing for a breakout. Yeah. I see the potential on some other charts. Just shifting all of this to the right because over the weekend not much happened, which is not necessarily a surprise. But the orange count here on the lower time frame, it shows us how the market could take the direct route higher. So if we avoid now, at any point, a break below 18.1 cents, then in this orange scenario, the market might find a way higher, either directly or maybe with a wider wave too. This will only become less likely below 18.1 cents and invalidated with a break below the red line at 17.1 cents. Oh, sorry, 17.5. Because that's the invalidation point for a 1-2 setup. Now, any break below this red line opens the door to the lower support area, 16 cents, 14.5 cents. But I'm not even convinced that this support area is so relevant because as you saw on the Coinbase chart, the structure is different. Yeah, I've actually marked it here. The Coinbase low, yeah, formed here roughly. So we wouldn't need to give it that much room, which is why the yellow structure is very messy. Very messy. I don't trust it. Yeah, I don't trust that yellow structure here. But I can't fully ignore it either. You know, it's gotta consider it. So I think it's important to understand what short-term support is, which I mentioned, 18.1 cents to 18.6. The price reacted to it a few days ago. To the upside, if we can break above this upper trend line, the focus will be on the next upside level to watch and the 22-cent level. Do not underestimate this level. This is really, really important. As you can see, at the moment, we're just moving sideways, but we're now in the apex of the triangle, and the market will likely make a decision very, very soon. Maybe tomorrow, around the weekly candle close. So breaking above that upper trend line takes us to 22 cents. Above 22 cents, this level up there around 27.2 cents will be important. In the orange count, a direct breakout is possible to the downside, 18.1 cents, and then 17.5 cents are the next support levels. So that's the update on Doge. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then also check out our membership tomorrow at 5 p.m. UTC, so UK, not UK time, UTC, tomorrow on Sunday. We're going to run our MCO live session again, where we cover a lot of charts, typically around 40 coin charts. You can request coins and much more. So we always take a, deep dive into the crypto sector charts during this live session. Also follow us on X for additional charts. I'll leave a link for you guys in the comment section on X. You can find a little more updates as well and some charts that we don't even cover on YouTube. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.